Hey guys, Kevin Perteete here. I want to talk to you guys about the issue of what's going on with these police shootings and killing throughout the country. The first thing I want to say to you guys is, you know Kev, don't hold back. I'm going to tell you, my feeling or my facts or truth about what's going on, because I'm not hearing it in the way I'm going to tell it to you all at all out there. And I just want to comment or put in my quote-unquote 2 cents. First thing I need to say is that those killings and what is happening is the police throughout this country's own fault. It's within your departments that you are allowing the bad apples to ruin the whole bunch. I'm not saying I condone those killings at all. That's not what I'm saying. Those police that were killed could have been helping communities, helping with other races, blacks, and if they're white, and vice versa, and doing good things. But because of the evils of your brothers and fellow cops throughout the country, you're getting a bad rap too. And that's unfortunate. But it's your own fault, because you have to police your own police. You have to get rid of that bad one apple and speak up against police brutality or police corruption. And it's widespread. There's all types of stuff goes on in the police, quote-unquote, brotherhood departments. So there's no saying revolution is not without blood. People are tired of this. And these shootings are going to keep happening, unfortunately. Because until you guys, police departments, get your own under control, people are going to fight back. And I'm not saying that that what happened to those cops is right, but it's a message being sent to you to let you know people aren't going to put up with this shit. How many of us have been killed out there that it didn't make the news and it was covered up? It's not fair. And then you go to court and you guys are getting off when it's clear murder. Now, I can see your name off all the cases and this and that, and I'm not going to do that. But it's absurdity. And then you get pensions and you retire, getting all this money and this and that, and that's not right. It's not right. So this is going to continue to happen, because that person who's on the edge or mentally on the edge or something, mentally have a mental illness or something like that, and you push them like that, that's what's going to happen. And I'm not going to here sugarcoat anything. I'm not sitting here telling you, I support killing cops, because I didn't say that. So don't come to me with comments, you did. No, I'm just telling you the truth of why and who's creating the problem. And you got to figure out how to solve it now, or it's going to continue. Okay? And let me give you a true story. First of all, I have had dealings with police harassing me, handcuffing me, even in my own parking spot, right outside of here, my house. And I've done nothing wrong. They profiled, or they just, bored, whatever it is. I've dealt with more bad cops in LA, where I'm at, than I had good cops. And I've run into a few good cops, but very few. I'm talking 3 out of the maybe 15 other encounters. Just saying. I know there are good cops. I know that. And thank you. And continue to fight. But you got to read out that bad apple. Let me give you a true story. I knew a gentleman who was a state police officer in California. This was at a time of a job that I worked. And there were other people with me when he told us this story. He said that one night he attended a police party, private party at a fellow officer's home. And then he, walking around there drinking, really drunk, a lot of them. And he walks into the backyard, and there's a group of his fellow officers talking, and they're saying, yeah, you remember the time we killed that guy and we buried him up in the high desert, and this and that, laughing and whatever. He said that didn't sit well with him. So the next day he went to his commander or senior officer or whatever it was, commander. And he told him what he overheard. And his commander said to him, I'll change his name, Mark. Mark, shut your mouth if you love your family. Sounds like a threat to me. This is what I'm talking about. This code of silence or brotherhood of police that have been going on for decades, where they're doing stuff like this. What do you expect people to do when you're doing these kinds of things? You're supposed to wear that badge of honor as a police officer sworn to uphold the Constitution and people's rights. Does that sound like somebody's rights were upheld? Whether or not the guy was a good guy or bad guy, I don't know all the details, but the point is, can't have this. Just today, they had this cop in North Miami, the black, therapist or something like that, and this patient was autistic, and he was, trying to calm him down. He wanted to commit suicide, and he was out there, and he was so and he's laying on the ground like this with his arm, talking to the police, telling them that it's not a gun, it's just a toy truck. I'm his therapist, and the cop shoots him. And he asked the cop, why did you shoot me? Cop says, I don't know. That kind of shit right there has to stop. That cop needs to be immediately fired off the police force, demoted, never allowed to be a police officer anywhere in this country again, and never allowed to own and have a gun, because that man does not know how to react. Now, whether it's mind control, which it could be, I don't know, but that is a police officer who has no business being a cop. And that's the problem. You have too many of you who are in the police force who shouldn't be, because it's not your personality and it doesn't fit you to be a cop. You don't know what you're doing. I see it all the time. I don't know, but I thought you guys were taught in basic training about martial arts. There was a woman right here in Los Angeles some years ago, had a screwdriver, homeless, mentally ill woman, shot her 8 times. Killed her. You know what you do with somebody that has a screwdriver? You learn in basic martial arts. You disarm her. You walk up and it's jab, grab, boom, but it's over. I'm sorry, it's not that hard. I mean, I train, I do certain things, whatever, but please, you got to learn how to defend without shooting and killing someone. I understand she got a gun, it's of course, it's gonna, or big giant sword, even still, you can, there's defensive ways. You guys need to bring in some martial arts experts and show you guys how to do basic defenses and so forth. I mean, this is absurdity to me. What's going on? It's been going on for years and years and years. Okay? So you got that situation to deal with. You got to get rid of these bad cops. And you got to speak out. And there has to be support systems for you when you rat out those dirty cops. Because it's giving you all a bad name. That's what's creating all these shootings. If you guys were good and they ratted out these people and there weren't these senseless killings, and it's not just about black people. There's Hispanics and whites and everyone else who are being shot and killed and murdered in prison and jails and on the streets by cops saying they had a gun, whatever. I fear for my life. I love that new terminology. Just like in court, emotional distress and emotional distraught, and they come up with these terms. I fear for my life. It's ridiculous what's going on, and it has to stop. So that's that. The next thing is I want to talk to my own folk, black folk. Now understand something. I'm not caught up in anything about racism, whatever. I speak everything to everybody. I don't care if you're black, white, Mexican, Hispanic, Chinese, Japanese, Indian, whatever. There are idiots in every race, and there are intelligent people in every race. It's all relative to me. So I don't get caught up, and you shouldn't get caught up in this racial thing. Black people, white people, we're all good and bad at the same time. But addressing to the black communities, you got to stop this black on black crime, and any crime for that matter. But I'm saying these senseless shootings. Now, I don't know a lot about Black Lives Matter, because I don't want to speak ignorantly on the organization as a whole when I don't know anything really about it. All lives matter. That is the fact of the matter. But the first issue that we have to deal with, because in our own communities, is us killing us. And I guarantee you, and I already know the statistics, that it's a much bigger epidemic than police killing. But I know that. Maybe by thousands of times. And it has to stop, people. Please. Use your intelligence. Stop living in your animalistic reptilian brain and get into your intellectual spiritual brain. Stop this. Chicago. LA. Just saw on TV. Young black man walking to his grandma's house, shot dead, and some other stuff with black killing black. You know, what the hell? You know, so you know, I just plead with all of you: use your logic, use your brain, use your common sense, and understand what's going on. And let me warn you to be careful about a national police force, because it seems to me like this may all be in a grand plan with the New World Order. Because if the government wants to create or to do this, believe me, they created the problem and they got the solution. But we've got to be diligent as citizens to know this and to be aware that that's not necessarily what we want. We do need someone other than the police to police the police, or to have some type of new organization that is in every city that have the legal right to investigate whatever happens and bring the findings, and not a police department in itself, because that leads to a conflict of interest, of course. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, with so much going on in the world, and there's a lot of other issues and topics that I need to address too, and I may in the near future. But for now, please, please, everyone, it doesn't matter if you're white on white crime, Hispanic on everyone, please stop these senseless murders and killings and robberies and stuff. Please. That's not what we are. I'm Kevin Perteete. Peace.